It's a cute and tiny motif that looks like a wheel. On this video, I'm going to teach you how to make the Orient Motif. I'm going to be using 4mm hook and some cotton yarn size 4. All right, we're going to start with a slip knot and we're going to start with a base ring. For your base ring, you want to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we can close it off by doing a slip stitch into the first chain that you made. So we insert our hook into that chain, grab the yarn and pull through to close. It's a little tight there. There we go. And we're going to be working into the center of the ring. If you pull your chains apart, you'll see there's a tiny little hole in the middle, and that's where we're going to work into. For row 1, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a double crochet. And now we want to do 1 double crochet into the ring. So into the ring, a double crochet. And now we're going to do the following repetition 4 times. We're going to chain 1 and then do 2 double crochets into the ring. So into the ring, 2 double crochets. That's 1. And that's 2. So that's what we want to do 4 times. Let's do it again one more time together. Chain 1 and then 2 double crochets into the ring. That's 1 and 2. That is my second time. Now I want to do this 2 more times. So a chain 1 and 2 double crochets into the ring twice. I'll see you when we're done. All right, I just finished my 4th repetition. So to finish off this row, we want to do a chain 1. And then we want to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we started with. So we find that chain 3 and do a slip stitch. And that there is the end of row 1. For row 2, we're going to do a slip stitch into the next double crochet and chain space. So we'll slip stitch into the double crochet and into the chain space. So from here, we're going to do a puff stitch. For a puff stitch, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that spot, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. And we want to do that again, yarn over, insert our hook into the same spot, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. You're going to have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5. And this here is our puff stitch. Now we're going to start the row repeat. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the next chain space, the one here, we're going to do a puff stitch. So for a puff stitch, we yarn over, insert our hook into the spot, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and do that twice. Yarn over, insert our hook into the space, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5. And that's the repeat. We're going to do chain 4s and then puff stitches in the chain spaces all the way around. What I want to make a note of is the taller you pull the yarn up when you're doing the loops, the taller your puff stitch is going to be. So just make a note that you want to be consistent with how much you're pulling for each puff stitch around. So do chain 4 and puff stitch into the chain spaces, and I'll see you when you're done. Okay, I just did my final puff stitch into the last chain space. So to finish up this row, we're just going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the first puff stitch. So we find the top of that puff stitch and then do a slip stitch. And this here is the end of row 2. For row 3, we're going to do a chain 1. And then you want to do 1 single crochet into the same spot as the last slip stitch. So into the top of that puff stitch, a single crochet. And now we're going to start the repeat. You're going to do 5 single crochets into the next chain 4 space. So around the chain, just 5 single crochets. Here's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you want to do 1 single crochet into the top of the next puff stitch. You insert your hook into it and do a single crochet. And this is what we want to do all the way around. Into the chain 4 spaces, you're going to do 5 single crochets, and then into the top of the puff stitch, 1 single crochet. Do this all the way around. And then when you're done all the repetitions, you're going to finish off. You have the chain 4 space. So you're going to finish off with 5 single crochets here. And then you're going to do a slip stitch onto the top of the first single crochet of the row, because that's the one that you did on top of the puff stitch. So you already have that. Once you finish the ones here, you slip stitch, cut off your yarn, and thread your ends through. And here we have it. Cute little motif. This reminds me of the boat steer and a couple other motifs that I have, but it's got those bubble stitches to add a bit of a different texture. It looks like a little wheel. Real cute and small. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.